To Wolves Lakers season ends tonight at Crypto.com Arena, and it ends in a sweep. The Denver Nuggets sweep the Los Angeles Lakers. Unfortunately for the Lake Show, they do not get an opportunity to go out to Denver. They do not get another chance to prolong their season. It will end tonight, and it will end with LeBron James playing the entire 48 minutes, chipping in with 40 points. 10 rebounds and 9 assists. AD had 21 and 14, but not as productive as a night as the team needed from Anthony Davis. He ended up with 21 points and 14 rebounds. I got some thoughts here. I'm sure there's a lot of Laker fans that want to react to the final game of the season. Bottom line, give credit where credit's due. Denver was a better team. Denver knew how to close better than the Lakers. Lakers were in some games, had some opportunities to get one of those games in Denver, and failed on both occasions. The Lakers, I'll use tonight as an example. They fought, and they continued to fight all year, and it wasn't one of those games where they're down 3-0, and all of a sudden they just they lay it in and say, all right, where are we going for our vacation? They fought the entire time. They tried everything they can to get back to Denver, and it just wasn't in the cards. So, when I say that I give a lot of credit to the Denver Nuggets, what I'm referring to there is they were the better team. And if the Lakers played another 7-game set with them, they'd probably win again. And I don't think anybody would have any question marks there. The one thing I will say about the Lakers, and I'm sure as we kind of progress in the postgame show, it's a very interesting season. There's so many chapters to this season this year. And the fact that the Lakers, if you'd have told me a few months ago they'd be the second-best team in the Western Conference, I would not be buying that. But here they are, and I know for Laker fans you don't get trophies for getting to the Western Conference Finals. I know it doesn't work like that. But I think all in all, I think it was a season where the Lakers went a lot further than anybody expected. Had some chances. I thought, in Game 1, had some chances in Game 2. Had some chances in game tonight. They were in all these games. It's just towards the end, Denver would do one or two things that was the difference of the ball game, and that obviously helped the Denver Nuggets prevail. All right, the phone number is 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. If you're out driving around, getting an opportunity to obviously come on the show, feel free to do so. We're also live on all our social platforms as well, so we can do that as well. A double check here, guys. We ready on Darvin Ham? We're still going there. Okay, we'll get Lakers head coach Darvin Ham in just a few minutes as well. So, I guess if you're just looking at this game specific, and we want to look at that last possession. First, Lakers had the ball. Bron had to take basically a fadeaway, almost 25-footer or whatever it was in the corner. Then the Lakers would eventually get the ball back because of a Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray gets stopped on a possession. I want to say it was Dennis Schroeder that was guarding him. So Lakers would have one more chance with 4 seconds left. Bron would go to the basket, try to get a shot up, and basically Jamal Murray floating around decides to forget about who he's guarding. And that was it. That was the season. Denver Nuggets are going to go to the NBA Finals for the first time in their franchise history, and it was just a weird moment. Jamal Murray got his hands on the ball. Bron tried to shoot. You call foul there? Do you not? Probably not. And then the season ended. It's just such a abrupt end to how this season ultimately finishes. And unfortunately for the Lakers, they're now out. All right, let's take a couple phone calls here. Let's go to Steven in Playa Vista. Steven, appreciate you calling in.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Definitely agree, just a rough way to end the season considering they were in all 4 of the games. One thing I probably wish they could have done, specifically in Game 1 and today, I felt like Murray and Jokic respectively were in foul trouble with half of the fourth quarter. So wish they could have, made some adjustments to attack both of those guys in Games 1 and 4. But, those minor tweaks they wish they could have done, but ultimately Denver was a better team, and looking forward to what they do for next season.
Yeah, and I appreciate you calling in. 877-710-ESPN. There is a little bit of that. I know it's very early, and I know we have plenty of time to talk about the offseason and what the Lakers do from here and how do you approach the offseason, what guys you go after, what guys you want to keep, what guys you want to eventually decide to let go or sign somewhere else. I think there are some obvious ones, and let me explain what I mean by that. The obvious ones. Austin Reeves, you got to find a way to bring him back. Rui Hachimura is a player that I think if you have on your team, you're a better team, adds some great depth to your lineup, and also has some length. Dennis Schroeder, it's kind of funny. I think he's going to get some opportunities somewhere else. I think he earned himself a paycheck somewhere else. But for the most part, I think those are the players that stood out to me the most. And if you look at what Darvin Ham, who he used in these playoffs, at least who he used tonight, all he used was 7 minutes of Lonnie Walker, 15 minutes of D'Angelo Russell, and 10 minutes of Tristan Thompson. So that says a lot right there. All right, let's take a quick listen. Here's Lakers head coach Darvin Ham.
Darvin, just one on tonight first. LeBron played the entire game except for those 4 seconds at the end of the half. What did you make of his effort? And on those final couple of possessions, what were you trying to get to with him initiating there?
Well, it was tough. We had a deep corner. Let me just speak on his overall night. I just thought he came out with a mindset to keep this thing going. He came in the building as he's been all year, all throughout the playoffs, with a focus, a determination to get it done by any means necessary. And, I just thank them all. I mean, it's great, the competitive spirit. It was phenomenal. From day one, getting to this point from which we came, digging ourselves out of a deep, deep hole, and being able to be a part of this 2023 NBA postseason and then become one of the Final Four teams. It was a hell of a year, hell of an experience, and hell of a turnaround. Did a complete 180. And, he was a big part of that in terms of his communication, his leadership, he and AD both. And he just came out ready to go. With the end of the quarter stuff, the end of the end of the game, I just thought he was trying to get downhill, man. And again, I mean, not to use any excuses or make any excuses, but there's contact on just about every play in the NBA. Now, when you drive the ball and what's considered a violation and what's not, what's called and what's not, it's like I'm oblivious. Like, I don't know. And so all you want is fairness and consistency. It's something I've always said. So just trying to get the ball in the hands of our best player and allow him to go make a play in an area on the floor where he's comfortable. But, again, not to take anything away from Denver. They're a hell of a ball club. They've been great all year, been great for a few years now. They have a hell of a 1-2 punch and Joker and Jamal. I wish them nothing but the best. Mike Malone, happy for him and his staff. They've done a phenomenal job of just establishing a culture up there in Denver, making that a tough place to play. Well-balanced roster, very, very well coached. Some great vets over there. Some guys are going to get opportunity to get a ring, I think, for the first time. DeAndre, Jeff Green, those guys. So kudos Ish Smith. Like, some guys that's been around the league a long, long time. And then Joker, getting an opportunity. Jamal, getting an opportunity to step out on the final stage and try to make something happen. So nothing but love and respect for the Denver Nuggets. Love the way they play and love what they're about. But, we also saw ways that, even though this is year one, and this losing sucks, I think we have an opportunity to do something special here also. And we just got to build off of this. Everything we put into turning this thing around, we got to not only sustain it, we got to take it to a higher level. And that's what this summer is going to be about.
Just on that note, zooming out, the way the season started, trade deadline to where you are now, how would you summarize?
I just think it was great. It was nothing but growth, nothing but an education, and staying with it, trying to remain consistent. I told those guys their consistency of coming to the gym from the time where we had talented pieces on the roster, but yet still something that didn't necessarily fit perfectly together, to the point where we did find the right pieces and they fit, smoothly. The culture that was reset in terms of competitiveness, togetherness, accountability. Us, the gym each and every day trying to get better at something and being focused on getting better at something was nothing short of amazing. It's just been a hell of a year. The support I got, myself personally, my staff, from Jeannie, Rob, it was just to go through some of those tough times early. We don't get that support. We probably don't make it to this point. But again, everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. It was a very, very special year.
Darvin, when LeBron, I think it was in Dallas, goes to the ground, says he hears a pop, meets with people, maybe he needs to have season-ending surgery. At any point, did you envision being able to count on him for 48 minutes in a game? At that point, you might not have known if you'd get 48 minutes all season. What did he have to go through to get back, and what did he give tonight?
I think he just went through a rigorous process of just round-the-clock treatment, exercises, bringing in different foot specialists to first of all confirm the fact that he couldn't, damage the area any further, but to also to kind of retreat it, re-strengthen it, and make it and put himself in a position where he could come back and join, which was then a newly formed group that had players in it that totally complemented his playing style and the style of play we wanted to have coming into this season. And so his ability to work through it, AD's ability to work through it, just all of the injuries we had throughout the season, and the guys missing different stretches, long stretches. I just think there was a belief there that this thing could really work. We got some consistency in terms of people being in the lineup and guys trying to get everything they could on the fly. It wasn't a whole, didn't have a training camp, wasn't a whole, with the new team from the deadline on. Obviously there's no training camp, the practice time is limited because you're dealing with multiple injuries. So it was a lot of film study, a lot of walkthroughs. The shoot-arounds pretty much became our practices, regardless of who our opponent was, just trying to work on us and get better at what we need to get better at, and continue to fight through, and hopefully, our leaders, our captains, Bron and AD, would be available at the right time, and they were. And that just a bunch of work by our performance team and everybody around them. Just again, those guys being meticulous about not only just getting well, getting healed, but strengthening so we could make a push.
Darvin, to stay smaller picture for a second. Obviously, the result was the same as games 1 through 3, but you did change up the starting lineup, and now that you're immediately removed from it, what do you feel about that switch, and do you look back and wonder, could I use that at a different time of the series?
Yeah, I believe we started the series with Dennis in the lineup in Game 1, coming off the Golden State. You can go back, look at the lineups. We were fortunate, at the deadline to make a move that gave us a ton of serviceable players. You're always going to, question whether or not you should took a timeout or put the ball in someone's hands at a certain particular time in the game, or switched up your defenses, or this, that, and the third. I just felt like, no matter who we put in that lineup, they were going to step up and give it their all, no matter what the results said. But this lineup that we finished with in particular, obviously we want to just be aggressive, be physical. Thus the reason Tristan came in. I thought he played huge in his time on the floor. Gave us some really good, inspiring minutes, high-spirited minutes. Those guys, that's a tough task, trying to slow down Joker, trying to slow down Jamal. But, I thought our guys, they tried their best. That starting lineup, each starting lineup that we had out there, they didn't go out there to fail. It just, things happen the way they happen during the course of a basketball game. And kudos to those guys who were removed from in D'Lo's case, removed from the starting lineup, and then in Vando's case, didn't get a chance to play tonight. But those guys were nothing short of professional, understood, did what they needed to do in the restructured part of the rotation, and everybody was supportive. Really wanted to come out and get this win tonight, and I thought we fought as hard as we could fight.
Darvin, even though it was a sweep, you guys were in all four fourth quarters. At one point it was a one-possession game in each of them. What's the key for this group moving forward to, you said, to kind of take that next step? What do you think that key is for you guys to be able to execute on a stage like this and come out winning those games?
I just think, again, the phrase for me is self-inflicted wounds. You can't have those. And that's not, being good in transition defense, not fouling, not pushing them to the bonus, getting a rebound, boxing out, keeping them off their offensive glass, not allowing them to get those second, third, fourth chances. And then on our side, not turning the ball over and making layups. I don't know. I don't think coverages or adjustments have anything to do with that. That's just playing harder, playing better. I thought the third quarter, it was twofold. We missed a ton of point-blank shots, and we allowed them to get really active on their offensive glass. When we would stop them, and then they get another crack at it and another crack at it. And now instead of getting a rebound, you're giving up threes. And the sign of a great team is you make any mistake, they're going to make you pay for it. And they did just that. So I think going forward, we have to come in with a focus on being determined going into next year of controlling what we can control, giving ourselves every chance to win by doing the little things. Again, being great in transition, showing our hands, being disciplined, coming up with rebounds, defensive rebounds in particular, playing with pace, consistent pace, not turning the ball over, and making the shots we're supposed to make.
All right, that is Lakers head coach Darvin Ham right there. So final score tonight, 113-111. The Denver Nuggets move on to the NBA Finals. The Lakers get swept. I know we got a lot of Laker fans that want to talk about the loss, the series, the season, the offseason. We'll do all that coming up next. Stay right here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 7.
710 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station. Line.
Presented by Pizza Hut.
Big is back. It's bigger, it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker. Only at pizzahut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Allen Sliwa.
Need a break from the everyday? Well, fans, it might be your lucky day because tonight, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino is giving away a 2-night stay plus dinner and golf or bowling for two. Make any day your lucky day. Book now at FantasySpringsResort.com. Lakers season ends tonight. They get swept by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. 113-111 the final score. We'll get a chance here from everybody. LeBron, AD. Just heard from Darvin Ham. I do want to take as many calls as I possibly can. We'll just kind of go tonight since this is the final game of the year. I know there's a lot of reactions. Some of the interviews are going to be a little bit longer as well. Let's start off with Oscar in Baldwin Park. Oscar, what's going on?
Slee, man, what's up, bro? Be honest, man. I don't know how to feel right now. I don't be pissed off or just kind of they made it this far. When no one was really expecting it. I'll be honest. I'm just kind of like maybe a little surprised that they got swept the way they did. They were in every game. I think that's a little bit of the frustrating part. They were in every game. Every game was winnable for them. I think going forward, LeBron, Hachimura, and Reeves are the only ones that are untouchable. Maybe Lonnie Walker. Everybody else, I think we got to go get Damian Lillard. I think we need an explosive guard. That's one thing that'll be the Lakers' history, too, the great guard play with the great big man play. Then we need a great guard because Jamal Murray ate us up. But overall, man, they got farther than I thought they would. And, I really wish they got swept. I didn't want to get swept. But, there's progress there. So let's just hope to next year, man. Thanks for the good work, bro. Appreciate everything you guys do. Enjoy
Thank
your
you, Oscar.
show.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for calling in. I'm actually I kind of get Oscar's emotions. I would tell you this. I'm still at the frustrated against the Denver Nuggets portion of it. But it will settle in. The settling in of what kind of season the Lakers had, how they outperformed, I think, a lot of expectations. But I think that the Nuggets piece of it is they were in a lot of these games. They just kind of got outplayed towards the end there. I thought they played good enough to split in Denver. I thought they played good enough to split one of these two games against the Nuggets. But that's not how sports works. And we've seen the Lakers in situations where they're good enough to win it all, and they take out teams that were close, but they couldn't close. And the Lakers were close, but they couldn't close. So I think the series against the Nuggets is where we'll spend the most of our time. Why did the Lakers lose the series? What players didn't step up that should have stepped up? I think that's going to be the initial reaction, and then obviously from there of what the Lakers need to do moving forward. Let's go to Brad in Tennessee. Brad, thank you for calling in.
Hey, thanks, Alan. I just want to talk about Darvin Ham for a second. I know a lot of people's going to bash on AD tonight, but how many times did you see AD actually get plays ran for him to where he was in a legit post situation to where he could back down and make a move? Like, you barely seen it. Some of that might be on him, but as the head coach, it is your job to put your players in the right position to succeed. It's complete coaching misfeasance on his part. I mean, you've got LeBron James playing 48 minutes. You've got Rui Hachimura playing 42 minutes, and I know this is do or die, so everybody's got to play bigger minutes than they're used to. But you also have to have self-awareness of what's going on the floor. Rui just didn't have it going tonight, period. He wasn't good on defense. He wasn't shooting the ball well. And so it was ruining the spacing because they wasn't even caring about him being out on the three-point line. But at a certain point, you've got to know what's going on with your roster and how your guys are responding. I thought this was a perfect series to get Troy Brown and maybe even Beasley back involved. And you had Bamba healthy for tonight. I mean, you've got to try different things because
Brad,
doing the same thing over and over and not having success is literally the definition of insanity.
Brad, I appreciate you calling in. I think, look, I thought it was the right move to start Rui and start Dennis Schroeder.